Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. I got my Christmas tie on, cause just for fun. So, let's see here. The Black Pearl. So Ramon has found the Pearl of Heaven. This amazing, huge, valuable, perfect pearl. And so now he has to tell his father about it. And his father comes home and he shows his father, and his father is like, no, 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 that can't be real. No, 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 that's not. Ramon, it is. It's real. That's it. And then his father takes it outside and he holds it up so everyone can see, look at what my son has found. Look at this. All right, so we begin chapter 8 with this excitement of the Pearl of Heaven. When my father and I went home that evening, it was like a parade. News of the monstrous pearl found by Ramon, the son of Blas Salazar, had spread through the town. It was as if the news had been written across the sky in letters of fire. Farmers from the hills, idlers, fishermen, pearlers, merchants from their shops, women and children from everywhere, even Father Gallardo from the church, but not the Sevillano, were in the parade that followed us along the Malecon and up the hill to the plaza. Some carried torches, and all sang and shouted to celebrate the great black pearl. For the town of La Paz lives by the finding and selling of pearls, and therefore everyone in the town and the country around shares somehow in the fortunes of the sea. The crowd followed us to the gates of our house, and when we went in, it milled around the plaza and grew larger as more people heard the news of the pearl. It was a bigger celebration than the town has on the Cinco de Mayo. In our home is a small workshop where my father changes gems that are not perfect, and here he took the great pearl. He closed the door so that Indian servants could not see what he was about. First, he placed the pearl on the scales and balanced the weights. It is 62.3 carats, as you have told me, he said, and it is exactly round. But you are wrong about its perfection. He held the pearl to the light. Look, and you will see the smallest of flaws. It lies in the first layer, or somewhere beneath. I cannot tell for certain. I had seen the flaw already, and because I did not want to see it, I had decided that it was too small to be important. If you cut the pearl, you may find that the flaw goes deep, I said. If the flaw does go deep, my father said, then it is not a great pearl. Which would you rather have? The Paragon of Pearls? Or just one that is good? The Paragon, I said. Still, I did not wish him to cut the pearl, for I had seen many fine pearls destroyed by this cutting. If the flaw lies deep, we have nothing, I said. Now the flaw is small, and whoever buys the pearl may never see it. The flaw will be seen first, my father replied. And even though the pearl weighs more than 60 carats, and is round, and of rare orient and color, it is only the flaw that will be talked about. So fetch another lamp, and turn up the wick on this one, and while you do this, pray that God guides my hand with the knife. I turned up the wick, and lighted another lamp, as I was told to do. But I did it with my heart beating loud. From the plaza came the sound of singing, and through the window I could see the flare of torches. In a moment or two, I feared there could be nothing to celebrate, for the townspeople, or for me, or for anyone. I began to pray, but somehow the words would not come. I kept hearing the old man's words. The Monte Diablo will have it someday. The Monte Diablo will have it back. I stared at the pearl and the knife lying beside it. Would Soto Luzon's words come true? Would the knife my father was about to use destroy the pearl forever? My father picked up the small, sharp knife, whose edge was slightly curved. He took the pearl firmly in one hand and breathed deeply and held his breath and laid the edge of the knife against the pearl. There was the faintest whisper as the knife nicked the surface. Then a peeling that was thinner than the thinnest paper came free and slowly grew in length, and at last, after what seemed an hour, fell lightly upon the table. Outside, the singing had grown louder, but here in the room there was not a sound except the sound of my father breathing again. He put down the knife and held the pearl under the lamp and stared at it for a long time. I watched his face for some sign that the flaw had disappeared. His face did not change. My throat was dry and choked with fear. "What do you see?" I tried to say. He did not answer me, for my words came out in a hoarse jumble that no one could understand. At last, he shook his head and again picked up the knife. I walked to the window. I looked out at the night sky and began to pray. "Watch," he said. "Someday you may need to do this yourself." I came back to the table and stood over him and watched, still praying for the life of the great black pearl, as the knife made its slow, endless circle. Then a curled wafer fell to the table, and lay there, dull in the glow of the lamp. My father held the pearl to the light and turned it around and studied it from every angle. Suddenly, he thrust the pearl high above his head as if he wished to show it to all the world. Then he gave the pearl to me and said, "The flaw is gone. You have in your hand the pearl of the universe, the Paragon of Pearls, the great pearl of heaven!" So, again, the story starts with the description of the pearl being monstrous, and we looked at this before. Monstrous. So we have a monster, which is huge, gigantic, and this pearl is huge, it's gigantic. Okay. And the town is so excited that they're just having a big old fiesta, a big old party. It's bigger than the celebration of Cinco de Mayo. So, for those of you that are from our Latin countries, many of you know Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May. I guess Mexico really is the only one that celebrates Cinco de Mayo. But from what I've been told, it's really America that celebrates Cinco de Mayo. Anyway, Cinco, 5, Mayo, May. So May 5th. It's a big traditional Mexican celebration. But here in La Paz, this pearl celebration was even bigger and better. All right. Now, critical readers, you will notice something in the story. Let's see if I kick back over here to it real quick. We see this a couple of times in the story, the Paragon of Pearls, and we saw it earlier as well. Now, what you notice here, what you should notice, is the capitalization, the Paragon. So this capitalization tells us that this is almost like a proper name. We are so excited about this pearl that we're giving it a whole new nickname. It's not just a pearl, it's the pearl. The word paragon means the best, the most excellent example. So when we capitalize paragon here, what we're saying is this is the bestest, mostest, excellentest example. It's the best of the best. The best of the best. The best of the best. Anybody watch that movie Ferdinand? My kids love it. The best for the best. Anyway. Slight tangent. All right. So the paragon. This pearl is the best of the best of the best of the best. It's the paragon. Good word to learn here. The best, most excellent example. Okay. Now, what Ramon and his father recognize here is that the pearl has a tiny little flaw, just one little thing. This is a perfect pearl. But this one has flaws, and their pearl has just one tiny little flaw. And so Ramon's father is saying, it's a good pearl, but everyone will notice this mistake. And Ramon goes, maybe no one will notice. Ramon's father goes, no. Everyone will notice. That will be the one thing that people notice. So what Ramon's father does is he gets his knife and he cuts into the pearl and he starts very carefully peeling off. So if you were to cut into this pearl and slowly try and peel away that layer to remove it. So this is what he's doing. This is an orange, of course. But you have to imagine if that was a pearl and you're carefully slicing the pearl. Okay, at the end, it says that Ramon was horse. Now, Horse is the animal, horse. But here we have the spelling, horse, Hoarse. Horse, horse. We pronounce them the same, horse, horse. But in this example, horse is where you can't talk very well. Your throat is hoarse. And so Ramon is like, oh no. Because he's so nervous and he's so excited, and he just, when he tries to talk, he's hoarse. All right, doesn't mean he's an animal. Okay, that's the end of that chapter. Thanks for paying attention, ladies and gents. We will catch up with another chapter later on. Have a good day. Bye.